So hello everyone, welcome to Sun and Moon Yoga Studio on YouTube. My name is aLex and we'll be doing just a short meditation today. This week's theme for the YouTube classes, the 10 a.m. classes, was around the heart, around the rhythms and opening of our heart. And today, together as we sit for about 12 minutes, I'm going to encourage us to listen with our hearts. As I often like to do, I'm going to share some poetry to inspire us as you get your seat ready. This is a poem by Mary Oliver, in the book Dream Work, Shadows. Everyone knows the great energies of running amok casts terrible shadows, that each of the so-called senseless acts has its thread looping back through the world and into a human heart. And meanwhile, the gold-trimmed thunder wanders the sky. The river may be filling the cellars of the sleeping town. Cyclone, fire, and their merry cousins bring us to grief. But these are the hours with the old wooden god faces. We lift them onto our shoulders like so many black coffins. We continue walking into the future. I don't mean there are no bodies in the river or broken bones by the wind. I mean everyone who has heard the lethal train roar of the tornado swears there was no mention ever of any person or reason. I mean, the waters rise without any plot upon history or even geography. Whatever power of the earth rampages, we turn to it dazed but anonymous eyes. Whatever the name of the catastrophe, it is never the opposite of love. Whatever the name of the catastrophe, it is never the opposite of love. So please take your time to make your seat very comfortable. Sense the support of the ground. Perhaps using the mantra that I like to use of ground, sound, breath. At ground, it's very useful to help us into the stillness of meditation by simply sensing where our bodies are in contact with this great constant support underneath us. And letting all parts of the body settle. Balanced over the parts that are touching ground, balanced easily, effortlessly. Any of these elements, like attending to ground, sound, and breath, can be anchors for us to remind us to come back again and again as perhaps our mind wanders off on the train of thought. And ground can be an especially powerful one, especially if thinking is strong. Breath, and you notice I'm taking it out of order, but breath, they're all happening at once. We take each one at a time to let it soak in and assist us in our sit. We're receiving each breath the lung area, very close, right there, adjacent to the heart. Each in and out breath together, hugging the heart. Allowing the breath to just be free as we receive the sense of the touch inside the body, the touch of this breeze of each in and out breath. The hands are sometimes called the motor instruments of the heart. And you might just check that your arms and hands are comfortably placed, perhaps in a particular gesture as I have mine, but can be another, palms down, palms up. And sound, ground breath sound. Here we become receptive, just letting our senses be here at home. No need to go out looking for anything. It's all arriving for us right here. Receiving sounds, receiving sensations, receiving emotional content, perhaps, occasionally thought. And I invite us to receive all that we are noticing, that we become aware of, that we wake up to, as if listening with our heart, as if listening with our heart. The heart, sometimes referred to as the third ear. And so if you do notice that you get on, or you've been on the train of thought for quite a while, that point of noticing is very powerful and awakening. It just might be celebrated. The speed of thought is very fast. And if we attempt to wrestle it down with more thought, you're likely to create more of a tangle of thought. So perhaps imagine, as you sense thought or anything that grabs your attention, let it rest into the space of your heart. heart that has its own rhythm and a much less hurried timetable than thought. As you rest, as we rest at the space of our heart, you may notice qualities here that are much more like the soft animal of your body, welcoming slower, the soft animal of your body, loving what it loves. Even tenderly receiving experiences that may be sharper or unwanted. And one reason this practice is so powerful is it gives us an opportunity to see how is it that we receive pattern may have been living in us for a long, long time. It becomes brave enough to reveal itself in the quiet of the space of our heart. Notice where you might just soften for the last few breaths, just a little bit more, perhaps in the eyes, shoulders, and belly. Notice as we bring left and right palm together, that bringing together of opposites at the heart. As we bow together, thank you for sitting with me together with all of us who are here and who are watching in the future. And I invite you to take the time in a day, whether it's a couple minutes, a minute, or 12 minutes, as we do here, roughly 12 minutes, to cultivate the quiet and stillness, to welcome the cyclones and tragedies and all that may have been part of your history. Welcome them into the listening space of your heart. And it might just be a place of transformation. Thank you, everyone, for being here.